Imagine waking up in the middle of the night to a blood-curdling scream. Choking in the dense smoke in the air, you realize something's wrong. Realizing your building has caught fire, you hear the sound of roaring flames. What do? How do you navigate the chaos? Do you freeze? Do you panic? Do you save the crying baby or the woman next door before you escape? High-stress situations like this are part of life and can happen to anyone at any point. It takes a special kind of individual to run into a burning building with the intent of saving lives. Someone who lives a life of virtue, tranquility, and emotional mastery. That is Stoicism. There are a lot of misconceptions about this philosophy. You will hear people tell you it's about suppressing emotions and promoting detachment from relationships. We're told Stoicism is about living a pessimistic and joyless life. They would devolve the practice to merely toughing it out, but in reality, they distract you from its true nature. Today, we'll turn to one of my favorite books, A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy by William B. Irvine, to unravel the truth about Stoicism and why everyone should adopt principles from this philosophy that offers tools for tranquility, joy, and resilience. Within this video, I'll cover the psychological techniques, practical application, and goal of Stoicism. Hopefully, all of you independent thinkers are asking why you should even consider the practice. That's a great question. I'm happy to see you questioning what I say, rather than blindly accepting the words of some stranger on the internet. I'll explain why it should be considered. Most people drift through life without a grand goal or coherent philosophy. They end up chasing meaningless things like wealth and status. While these things aren't inherently bad, without the proper motivation or direction, you will not be fulfilled. Think about it. We all know stories of famous, wealthy people who end their own lives. Even more, feel restless and dissatisfied. Many turn to drugs to escape reality. Living life this way is like sailing without a compass. You may move fast, but you'll get lost. All their wealth and fame didn't bring them true happiness, which brings us to the goal of Stoicism. The goal of Stoicism is to live a good life, and Stoics believed the highest good is tranquility. Tranquility is a state free from negative emotions, like anger, grief, and anxiety. This isn't passive indifference, but active emotional mastery. Just imagine your life free from emotional turmoil. By now, you're probably wondering how it is possible to be free from emotional turmoil in the life we live. Yes, life is hard, but Stoicism wasn't born in comfort. Stoicism was born in crisis and reflection. The first Stoics built a philosophy that helps us stay grounded, even when life feels like a shipwreck. Their legacy is a blueprint for living with purpose, resilience, and virtue. The early Stoics personalized this philosophy, turning it into a mental discipline for navigating life's chaos. Their legacy is a toolkit for cultivating tranquility, virtue, and emotional strength, even in the face of power, poverty, or pain. To understand and practice Stoicism, you must learn 3 psychological techniques. These are key to achieving emotional resilience, ethical behavior, and self-discipline in the face of adversity. So take notes, because you'll want to internalize Stoic principles, so they guide your behavior automatically. This is your reminder to test everything I'm about to share to prove or disprove its validity. First, let's dive into negative visualization. In this practice, you regularly imagine losing what you cherish to deepen gratitude and reduce fear of loss. This can be our possessions, health, and even loved ones. It may seem morbid, and some would call it crazy, but it's a powerful way to reawaken appreciation and reduce entitlement. Humans quickly adapt to improvements in life, like new cars, bigger homes, or promotions, which leads to diminishing satisfaction. This phenomenon is called hedonic adaptation. This psychological trap causes us to constantly chase more without appreciating what we already have. By contemplating impermanence, we become more present and grateful. So how do we put this into practice? Spend 1 to 2 minutes imagining the loss of something you value, like your job, health, or relationships. Let this sharpen your appreciation and reduce complaints. Use this visualization to diffuse anxiety. Before a stressful event, imagine the worst-case scenario. Accept it mentally, then proceed calmly. This builds emotional resilience. Instead of listing what you're thankful for, ask, what if I lost this tomorrow? This reframing deepens your emotional connection to what you already have. Next, I will cover a powerful technique for achieving tranquility and emotional resilience. You may have heard about it because it is discussed throughout different philosophies and religions. If you have ever prayed to God to grant you the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference, then you have an understanding of the dichotomy of control. You see, there are 2 domains of life, things we control, our thoughts, actions, values, and responses. Then there are things we don't control, other people's opinions, external events, outcomes, and, to some extent, our health. We should concern ourselves only with things we can control and be indifferent to things we cannot. By accepting that we don't control outcomes, we reduce anxiety and frustration. Life becomes more tranquil when we clearly distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, and then focus our energy only on the former. Truth is that invincibility isn't about power, it's about perspective. By mastering the dichotomy of control, we stop wasting energy on what we can't change and start living with clarity, purpose, and peace. If you currently struggle with this, list your current worries. Label each as controllable or uncontrollable. Focus only on the controllable ones. Let go of the rest. Set internal goals. Instead of "I want to get promoted," say "I will consistently deliver excellent work." This shift reduces stress and builds confidence. Practice indifference to outcomes. When facing uncertainty, such as test results or traffic delays, remind yourself, this is outside my control. Use this as a mental cue to release emotional tension. The final Stoic psychological technique is very useful for enduring uncomfortable situations. Have you taken a cold shower or ice bath? Attempted to diet to shed the weight your doctor warned you about? Just the thought of these things may have caused an uneasy feeling inside. This next technique takes negative visualization to the next level. Voluntary self-denial is intentionally going without pleasures or comforts to build resilience, sharpen appreciation, and reduce dependency on external goods. Pleasure can become a trap if we let it define our happiness. By occasionally denying ourselves comfort, we train our minds to be less reactive and more appreciative. This practice also prepares us for real adversity. This, in turn, will make us less fragile. Simple things like skipping a meal or sleeping on the floor for a night can make us more grateful for everyday comforts. These exercises recalibrate our expectations and reduce entitlement. You can practice this by choosing one comfort to give up temporarily. This can be something like hot showers, snacks, or social media. Then, reflect on how it affects your mood and mindset. Spend the day living as simply as possible with basic meals, no entertainment, and minimal spending. Use this to reset your appreciation for what you normally enjoy. Wear something unfashionable or speak an unpopular truth. Observe your emotional response and build indifference to external validation. Thank you for making it this far in the video. It helps the channel deliver more useful content. I hope this video enlightened you on the true principles of Stoicism and cleared up any misconceptions you may have had. A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy by William B. Irvine covers a vast range of topics on how these principles of Stoicism can be applied to deal with the grief of losing a loved one, getting old, and even dealing with insults. If you'd like another video covering these topics and more, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next video.